unless you minister somewhat to their wounds. And again, I just want to remind you that nobody's tried to use the poultice that people purchased from the alchemist in town. And 3 of them are dead. They're all, again, a mixture of human, elves, dwarves, halflings, normal, half-orc, normal humanoid races, nothing too outlandish at this point. You'll notice that the captain is of a different coloration slightly than the others. Whereas most of the folks have been dark hair and fairly pale skin. He is dark hair and a bit darker skin, swarthy, not kind of more like a Mediterranean type coloring. Whereas these other ones are more, like I said, a little further north apparently. So he does look physically different.
How does he? Or the other ones compared to the people we saw in town in coloring? Like, which one is closer to the townsfolk?
Most of the bandits look like, as far as you, especially for you guys, as far as you could tell, exactly the same. The fact that as foreigners who are of a very different coloring than these people are, that you could tell the difference between the captain and the leader guy and the rest of these bandits means that the difference is not enormous, but definitely significant.
Well, it almost seems like they're hiring outside help if this captain looks so different.
So, okay, so again, you guys can talk amongst yourselves. You can wake up somebody, try to talk to them. You can murder them all or bury them or take them back.
I'll be right back.
Out of character, by the way, I think that it's probably more likely that outside influences are instigating or at least supporting these rebels in order to gain political advantage over the region.
Seems reasonable.
If the soldiers, the grunts were the ones that were all a different color, then yeah, that would be the rebels are hiring outside forces. Usually, if you're hiring a large army, you don't just hire, captains and then let your army go and die.
I mean, it depends on what school of philosophy and tactics you subscribe to, but it's uncommon. So what do you guys want to do?
I'm just going to cast Shadow myself.
Okay, that took 6 seconds. What else?
Nothing.
Okay, I start gathering up their gear, again, sorting it to the side. Well, setting it aside so it can be sorted later. Okay. So I don't want them checked. I don't want them to have any knives on them again. So I'm actually, in this case, going to do a slightly more thorough check of their pockets to make sure they don't have any knives.
Roll an investigation check. That's a pretty low DC. I just want to...
it's got a pretty low score on it. Wow.
But you rolled well. All
I
right.
rolled a 19.
So you actually recover and find... you get all their weapons. So they have a crossbow and then short swords, which you expected. The leader has a warhammer and a small shield, as well as a heavy crossbow. But you also find a number of small daggers and things that wouldn't necessarily count as weapons per se, but things you might use to eat. You find knickknacks and a few trinkets, beat up pewter or tin, more likely. You find some like locks of hair wrapped up in oil skin, things like that. On the leader, as you pull out his stuff, you actually find 15 gold pieces. I don't know whether or not you take them, but you find 15 gold pieces. You find some very small pieces of paper, not parchment. It's normally parchment is what you would expect, but very small pieces of paper and twine. And you also find, does anyone have proficiency in animal handling?
Let me check. Nope.
Sorry.
I'm back, sorry.
Welcome. Does anyone have proficiency in animal handling?
I do not.
Nope.
Arlo.
No.
Okay. So a bunch of foot soldiers. So you find some, what looks like, you would guess, leather harness. If it was much, much larger, you would say it was leather harness or a tack of some kind, but you're not really sure why anyone would make something so ridiculously small. It's like it was for a children's toy or something. Seems like an odd thing for him to bring. You also find some packets, some waxed paper, which again is a rather unusual thing to find, wrapped around, and you find several of these, and they're wrapped up quite tightly, and they're even sealed slightly, not with like a seal, like someone's signet on them, but just a very light wax seal to keep them closed.
After seeing this shit, Reinhardt will try to look for some ink.
He is able to find some small vials of ink and very, very fine quill.
Yes.
Actually, several fine quills.
I will take that if you guys don't mind.
By all means. I have no use for feathers.
This will come in handy when I come back in town.
Frozen right now. I think Windows is doing an update behind my back.
Oh, we can hear you, so we can talk through stuff for the time being.
Yeah, at least there's that. I can't do anything on any web page.
Nice.
So if you get attacked,
Okay, so
you'll just die, don't worry.
the sealed. Did you say they were envelopes or scrolls?
It's not envelopes, but it's like wrapped waxed paper, so it would look sort of like an envelope.
Okay. I set those aside to investigate them later. I will start looking at stuff as soon as I'm absolutely certain that I've gotten all of their potential weaponry off of them. Anything they could use to cut the ropes and stuff like that. Then after that, I'll start. Go ahead.
Sorry, you feel certain, yeah, that you've gotten it all.
Okay. Then I'm going to start looking at those envelopes. Is there anything that I notice on outside? Yeah, I'd love for, like, out of character, I'd love for someone with better intelligence to start working on this too.
Wizard.
What, you guys sick?
Ursoks stands up.
Yes.
Did you say someone with intelligence? I got you.
Go for it, buddy.
I did say that.
No, Kazim could say that in character. There's nothing wrong with that. So he would probably actually in character would have said someone with more scholarly skills or something. But that's whatever.
But no, I'm saying I did also preface it with out of character.
No, I know.
We know that, but there's no reason
okay.
to. He could have said that in character just fine. Otherwise, it's like you all stand around not saying anything and then mysteriously take actions as if someone had said something.
Okay.
I'm going to do investigation.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'll probably need to.
You don't have to do any particular roll just to open the packets. By the way.
Yeah, but
Not a strength check.
I want to gain
read
as
it,
much
though.
knowledge as we can from the outside of the packets, if there's any to be gained.
So the investigation check on the outside, again, it's very unusual that it is wax paper, at least from you guys' background, and you haven't seen any other stuff here, though. You've only really been in this continent for a few days. Also, Reinhardt, you do notice that the seal on the wax is so fine that it's unlikely that it was a natural flame that softened the wax. It's too much precision. You would guess, especially with your magical background, that it was magic that was used to seal the envelopes. That's all you're able to get.
I'm just going to throw him the paper and said, I hate magic fire.
That's what Kazim hears.
What are you talking about?
It seems like it was somehow they used magic fire to close that paper up with the wax. That stuff.
Then we definitely should proceed with great caution.
Oh yeah, it probably means they have like some kind of wizard.
If Giovanni wants to, he would feel pretty confident doing like a detect magic with his doesn't he have? Do you have a detect magic cantrip?
Oh yeah, no, it's a ritual. I can do it.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and so he can spend a minute, channeling the mystic energies, and you are able to detect that there is no magical energy from the packet at all.
Ah, very well.
I think it's just a letter.
It's just what?
I say that.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, I just think it's a letter. From where? I don't know.
It's pretty thick. It's like a half-inch thick, but it could still be a
Plans,
letter.
maybe? It could be plans. I don't know. Somebody open it.
Kazim sets it on. Is there a table nearby?
No, you guys are on some stone. You could go over to the wagon and the bandit camp. There's like
Oh yeah, guys, remember, one of them escaped, so we shouldn't hang around here for too long.
Good point. What should we do with the remainder?
Let them come back and we can show them the same fate that their compatriots had.
I question how many times we could do that in a single day.
Ursok's skill, and based on the information that you know, and experience being a raider, and the information you guys already have, is he would be surprised if there was another similar patrol within that was closer than a day's travel. So you would guess at the shortest it would take a day and a half if they were really hustling to, you know, for anyone to come back from that guy.
By the way, just to refresh my memory, I actually don't remember one of them getting away. Did?
Yep.
Yeah, one did get away.
One did.
One went left, one went right, and we could only catch one of them.
Okay.
Well,
I remember.
You only chased one of them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I kind of kicked the one that we catched. We catched this one because he talked too much.
He was the leader, so, well, we presume. So
He gave the pithy one-liner apparently by saying, I know what happened now, and you guys are like,
That's right.
you must die for that statement.
Not die. Just that means he's very important.
Well, he's the first bandit to ever talk to us before battle.
Well, that's your guys' fault, really. He didn't talk to you
I
before
was the one who
battle.
kind of chased after him because he took a good shot at me, and I was like, "You ain't getting away from me."
Anyways, I'm not
No.
criticizing the choices of
Nasima,
the.
can you do minor illusion?
I
So-
can, yes.
Magic high five.
Magic high five.
Okay.
Okay, so that cost you a key.
Sorry, that's on my system.
Did that cost a key point?
No, it's a free cantrip.
Oh, she has that as a cantrip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Two
cool.
magical hands just clap in the air.
Well, I would guess that based on the size of this raid and what we've seen coming around, and from my own experience, I'd guess that we have at least a day and a half, probably more than that, before we really need to worry about people coming in, or at least more of these guys coming in finding us for a fight.
With, of course, the exception of the one that got away from us.
Well, that's true, but one person can only do, paper
Yes,
cuts as far as I'm concerned.
I highly doubt he'll return. I think we quite scared him.
Out of character. Are you serious? You just doomed us to him to returning. That's like saying it can't get any worse. You just don't say that.
That is unwise. But don't worry. In this case, the fates were not listening. So.
Reinhardt will sneeze.
Hey.
All right. So Ursok says that about how long he thinks it'll take for anyone to get back.
Excellent. Then we have the time necessary to gain the information that we need.
Torture?
Ursok's gonna go over to the camp and start rummaging through their stuff.
Just to ask real quick, did anybody open the packet? I was unclear on that.
No, I think no.
No, not yet.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so Ursok's heading toward the camp.
I'll just open the packets, and someone else is opening it, and there's no magic. I'll take it from whoever has it and open it.
There you go, Nasima.
Okay, so when Nasima opens the packet, there are some pellets, very greasy, fragrant pellets. In fact, the fragrance is so strong that when it's opened, it doesn't smell bad, but it's almost overwhelming to you all. There's no mechanical disadvantage to you, but it smells like faint, like just barely starting to rot meat. And after just a few seconds, Ursok, who is, 60, 70 feet away, can actually smell it as well.
That's kind of gross.
It isn't. You don't think it is rotting meat. It just smells like
It
that.
just smells like it.
What are those things?
Smoke bombs? I don't know. They just smell disgusting.
It's not too disgusting. It is just merely the scent of a battlefield.
Ursok fart and leave us so we would smell his fart?
I do not believe that his farts smell like this, although I cannot say for certain.
I'm going to say that when Kazim asked if there was smoke pellet, he reached out and kind of picked one up. And that Nasima has as well. It's how she knows they're greasy. Kazim is you, and you bring it up to kind of smell it a little bit closer carefully, like not taking a big whiff because at this point you think that would be dangerous. I mean, confirms that the smell is coming from the pellets, and you drop it back in. You still feel the greasiness on your fingers, and you notice it kind of has a potent, lingering smell.
Okay, what kind of a roll would I have to do to see if I recognize an item that is similar to this from my home country?
Just a straight wisdom check.
Okay.
Or a history check.
Okay. History it is.
Do you want me to do that too? Since I'm holding on to him?
Only
I have
one
no
person-
idea what she just said.
Only one person can make the check, but you can try to assist him.
I can do a wisdom check.
So you'll try to assist him? How will you try to assist him?
I don't know, maybe you just kind of gently roll them around in the package, see like if they kind of like are like sticky when they roll, or if they move kind of smoothly within the paper envelope that's like folded open in my hands.
So trying to suss out their physical properties.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, that's good. Go ahead and roll it. Giving vivid descriptions of the physical properties might help trigger Kazim's memory.
What are doing that?
Unfortunately,
Nothing.
it's not nothing. As you describe it, and Kazim's thinking about it, he just keeps going back to some delicacies of your guys' homeland, which are not nearly as fragrant, but have a similar texture, that are made out of a rendered animal fat and a lot of spices that are carried and used for their delicacy, both in terms of flavor, because the spices are quite expensive, and they also last a long time, which is nice in a warm climate. So that's what Kazim remembers.
Well, if it's
I
edible,
am
it's something
feeling
I don't wanna
healthy
eat.
and well. Danger is far off. I think I may risk tasting one of these.
Okay.
Go right ahead.
Kazim
No.
carefully puts it onto his tongue and bites down on it.
No.
It tastes like it's so Kazim would not really have an analog or a comparison, but you would. It's like incredibly potent teriyaki beef jerky. Like your mouth just explodes with the flavor, and you're not sure if you'll be able to taste anything else for quite some time.
Now the question is, would Kazim like that or dislike it? Let's find out.
Slightly sweet and a bit meaty.
Does it taste like rotten meat, or just? I mean, he said it smells like rotten meat, so.
Well, it only smells. It smells like
Vaguely
very,
rotten.
very faintly starting to rot meat. So it's not like it smells rotten yet. You guys kind of
Okay.
exaggerate.
It's like it's
so-
past its prime almost.
Exactly.
Kazim makes a face and immediately starts spitting it out and rolling around on the ground, holding his head.
It doesn't help, unfortunately. After several
He grabs
minutes,
his water bag and pours it into his mouth and spits it out. Pours it into his mouth, spits it out.
after
This is
several
what
minutes,
all of you are seeing, by the way.
after several minutes of that,
Are you okay?
the flavor becomes tolerable, but you're still pretty sure everything will taste like that for a couple of days.
That's so
Reinhardt is amused.
I do not think it is poison, but
And you
it may
feel
as
fine.
well be.
I fold the package back up and I put it on the ground next to the tied up guys. And just kind of leave it there.
Out of character. Anyone who has a pretty good history check, mine's not great, may want to see if you can locate the source country of such a potent spice.
I'll tell you for
That would not
free.
be me.
I'll tell you for free. Nobody knows.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's not from your guys' like continent, basically.
I'm gonna ask for 7 gold.
I'm sorry. What?
What?
Huh?
I'm gonna ask the groove if I can have 7 gold. I wanna.
Why do you need 7 gold? I have no gold.
I wanna try out a spell.
So, you guys do have 25 gold that you picked up from the basically what was taken by the bandits from the merchants just recently. Also, I think you guys have gotten gold from things being sold and distributed by Ursok to the group.
I haven't distributed anything.
Oh, okay. Ursok has not. But
Not that I care. I'm just saying I haven't distributed.
yeah, but you told everybody that you had.
Yeah, I did tell everyone that I had it.
Just saying, guys, I need about 3 minutes. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not trying to hold on to the gold. I just don't want us to double count stuff.
So when he comes
No,
back,
I don't mind.
I'm just gonna tell the group that I wanna make a spell and I need 7 gold.
You're gonna tell us what the spell's like, what it's for? 7 gold is pretty hefty for what we've got right now.
For
Oh,
a
it's
spell,
to
yeah.
create an animal companion that will assist us.
Like a magical animal?
Yes.
Yeah,
It can be.
rolls its, is this what you rolled in, or you put it up in the chat?
Yes. And I will describe that I can use it as a reconnaissance creature. But
Is it a creature that will remain loyal to you indefinitely?
Yes, but do not expect it to be useful in combat.
Is it is it like, it's all created, it's not like you go find an animal?
No,
right?
it's like
You conjured it.
I
basically.
conjured it, and then it looks like a real bird, but it doesn't really do
Okay,
anything.
gotcha.
Out of character, it never dissipates. Because I thought most conjured animals dissipate after a short time.
No, it
Alright.
doesn't dissipate. I can like make it go away to another plane of existence when I'm not using it, but it takes an action to do that. So it's better just to keep it on my shoulder most times.
And if it dies, you have
Disappears.
to recast it.
Yeah, another 10 gold.
All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. I just got really thirsty.
How dare you?
Yes, I know. I dare many things, including getting thirsty.
Thirst is
So,
one of them.
do you guys have any fears of owls?
I have no fear of natural animals.
I
no.
screamed that to Ursok because he's 60 feet away.
I guess that's true. I'm always away. I'm just gonna assume I don't hear. any of
You don't
this
hear it, no.
conversation.
So we're gonna go to Ursok real quick too, because
Okay.
this is taking a while. So as Ursok is going, through the camp, he finds a pack that looks like it has been dropped off more recently. You would actually guess that it's from the bandits that arrived. You know, like when they found the camp, they dropped off some gear and then went and hid in the trees. Just because it's full of rations. It's also got a number of pieces of animal, mostly talons and teeth. If you want to spend some time identifying them, you can, but it's like almost an armful. It's ridiculous. There are also bones. I mean, there's big canine-shaped, sharp teeth. There's molars. There's enormous talons and claws of various shapes and sizes.
Is there any is it etched on or have any holes drilled through, or are they just like you would find them if you found a carcass, basically?
It's actually just like the person pulled them out of the carcass and hasn't even properly cleaned them yet. There's little pieces of meat and
That's disgusting.
and tendon attached to them. I mean, the person probably tried a little bit, but didn't do
Right.
a very good job. You also find a list. You find a piece of paper or a parchment with it, and on the parchment, it's actually a map of the area, which is pretty awesome for you guys to see. It's not detailed at all. It doesn't show road. It shows big roads and the town, and it has a few X's marked in different spots, but no explanation.
Okay. Can I roll? What do you want me to roll to identify it? Nature?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
As you touch them, you begin to feel the energy of the land flowing into you. It's something that you had always heard about in your raiding parties before, but for whatever reason you had never been able to achieve in your homeland. You just weren't ever able to connect with the desert. It was too desolate. While it was difficult and lethal, it wasn't the kind of lethal of the warrior in your mind. It was the lethality of just an old man dying from his infirmities. Where the energy on this land feels like it's more likely to try to kill you. It's the danger that comes from a threat rather than just weakness.
Okay. As I feel this, I might put my hand on the ground and just feel the ground. Something seems strange. Dig my fingers kind of into the soil a little bit. And then I'm assuming does it just last? It just continues, or does it fade away after a little bit? Or?
It comes on very intensely for a few moments. And in those few moments, 3 of the animal pieces almost seem to glow and then separate from the others, in your mind's eye, and you can see the animals from which they came. One came from an enormous animal that you've never seen of before, but you would have thought you would have heard of in fairy tales. That was just on standing, it would be over 11 feet tall, massive head, shaggy fur, enormous chest, and it stood and it roared. And there's no noise in the image, but even without noise, you can almost feel its blast. The other you would recognize as an eagle, though the specific kind of eagle isn't one that you're familiar with. This one's much larger talons, larger beak, fiercer, and it seems to fly and at the same time stays still in your vision, and it goes with extreme speed as it dives down. And the last one is from an enormous animal that looks similar almost to like a jackal, but again much larger. And jackal you'd be familiar with. This one you wouldn't have seen before, but it's fairly thin, tall at the shoulder, almost up to your chest, and it puts its head back and howls, and you get a feeling of many others of its kind in the surrounding area. And as the strength of the feeling begins to fade, you feel like pulling. It's like if you grasped one of them in particular and held it during this time frame, like that's a choice that you would be making, and it would be significant.
Okay, and then for each one, what kind of like bone or claw or whatever was it?
They're all claws in this case.
All claws. Okay.
Talon in the case of the eagle. Yeah.
Okay. So Ursok, in his mind, kind of like sees himself reaching forward to the large animal that he doesn't recognize. It's as if he like longed for it, like something that it feels like home, though he's never seen it or like beheld it in reality. It feels like he belongs to it, and so he reaches out and grabs that claw and kind of like clenches it tightly in his fist.
Kindred strangers. Right. All right. So that is what he experiences, and that's going to be like a spiritual moment that will take you kind of out of noticing what's going on for a while. All right. So back to the rest of the group. So Nasima, she was doing something, right?
Yeah, I kind of put down the jerky. I guess we'll call it jerky for now. And then all the weapons. You said all the weapons. We've taken all the weapons away. I guess. Do we want to interrogate the boss, or what shall we do?
I need 7 gold.
I don't have 7 gold.
Kazim?
Kazim's having technical issues, actually.
Arlo, do you want to take a minute and try to reset and see if that helps? Restart? We can take a early, well, I don't know if we necessarily, yeah, we'll take an early break.
I can go get water and go get my sheets that I'm washing.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.